Have you ever wanted to put a creative hat on, explore and preserve your memories for all the world to see? Wait, what do you mean we've actually been doing that all this time? No, 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 no. I'm talking about this episode's hobby. We're going to be exploring the wonderful world of scrapbooking. Let's all remember, I don't have a creative or artistic bone in my body, but I'm looking forward to preserving our memories in a lovely designed book. The challenge has been accepted, but also I'm curious how this is going to turn out and what it's going to look like. If you're new to the channel or even just this series, we welcome you here. On this channel, we explore everything to do with hobbies and our special interests. My name is Ryan, an autistic individual, and in this episode, I'll be picking up the hobby of scrapbooking. We'll explore the entire concept of it, take part in the hobby, and we'll also apply the knowledge we provide on this channel to this hobby itself, showing our concepts, advice, and other whatnot can be applied to any hobby. So let us take a look at scrapbooking, shall we? Feel free to use the chapters to find the parts of interest to you, or you can follow this entire journey in full. There's a lot to explore here. Scrapbooking is an artistic form of self expression in which our memories and moments are encapsulated on a page in the form of photos, portraits, or even drawings. Then they're immortalized with your own personal designs and expression to decorate the page, to create a cohesive conception that can tell a story, or simply just store your memories on a page to be looked at another time. Now, prior to taking up the hobby, I may have said something like, you print some photos, you add some colour to the page, and you're done. But like every other hobby, maybe there's a pattern forming here. I go into it knowing so little, but throughout the journey, I learned so much, and why this is a hobby for so many people, because it's simply more than the front cover. It's an emotional, thoughtful, and personal art form that helps us remember, cherish, and survive difficult times. Like content creation, it all starts with a concept, the thumbnail and the title. With a scrapbook, you want each page or spread to have a concept. What will it be about? A theme. This might be the color, the decorative artwork, or even just the style. This allows you to pre-plan, and trust me, this is the gold standard for me because I can't do anything on instinct. It needs a 40-page plan before we're even starting. As such, I can apply that to this hobby, so I feel more in control and connected with the work that I'm doing. There's also the scrapbook itself. This can be impacted by the type of scrapbook you're creating. If you're storing a bountiful amount of memories throughout life, there's going to be a lot of information. This will impact the size of the scrapbook. But while I was doing my research, I even saw people making scrapbooks from those flip notepads you see in old detective shows, where they're making notes on their case. But people were able to turn them into quite profound and decorative artworks. When it comes to the scrapbook, they're personal creations that embody yourself. Now, I'm not saying there aren't scrapbooks that embody other people or concepts, but there's always a personal touch that defines them. There doesn't seem to be a manual on how to scrapbook. It's simply just tips and tricks to teach you how to get where you want to go. This is perfect for me, as I've struggled with, artistic challenges in the past. The art of minimalism, now that fits me very well. Scrapbooking isn't only for presenting and preserving of memories and the detail of them, but it can be a representation of yourself via your personalized style. It can be a color scheme that fits, the theme, pages, and your style. The fixtures and everything extra on the page can be a reflection of yourself, both in how you decorate the page and how you organize it. A scrapbook is like no other. They're unique, personal, and a tomb of information and artistic expression of a personal self. There's no way with my lack of skill, talent, artistic expression, or okay, I'm getting a little off track here. That I don't think I'm the right person to be giving out tips. But one thing I will say, you can't really go wrong with scrapbooking as it's your story to tell. Fair enough, there's design, skill, technique with regards to what it looks like. but it's still your self expression. Just go with the flow. For me, my scrapbooking is about preserving memories, as my mind isn't always the most reliable. I do find comfort in the notion that something I've created could be a visual stimulation and storage of those memories. It's rather ideal for a brain such as mine, I must say. There's almost something tangible in having it in a physical form rather than a digital photo album. It's designed by me and it's something that I can physically hold and interact with. Besides, digital or physical, they both allow self-expression through art and design of your own creation. Upon engaging in my research around the hobby, I was faced with an area of design and technique and artistry I wasn't really prepared for. A lot of people's designs had thought in them, shaping the pages like a map, telling a story of a journey to a destination, or having an interactive, page in the scrapbook in which a person can reveal even more information via the lifting of tabs, an element of intrigue and whimsicalness. I wasn't sure on how to challenge myself, as taking part in a creative and artistic hobby in itself is a challenge for me. After the neurodivergent dysfunctional nightmare that was the last challenge, I'm doing a little better, of course, but I'm still quite fatigued and burnt out, but doing the best I can, of course. Sorry, oversharing. As such, I wanted to simply challenge myself to participate in the hobby, do as much as possible, and explore as much as I can. Go with the flow, as it were. Sounds like me. Scrapbooking actually appeals to me. I will hopefully, depending on this month's challenge, likely continue to scrapbook henceforth, documenting my adventures on and off this content creation journey. So stay tuned to the channel if you're interested in that, and maybe some behind the scenes bonus content for those who want to hear the backstory of every single element in the scrapbook. But for now, let's take a look at my adventure into the wonderful world of scrapbooking. What I wanted to do was reminisce about some memories, and what I have for these few pages that we're going to do, we're going to have one page that is based around this channel, the content, the journey so far, and then the other page is going to be about a reminiscing of a trip that me and my partner took with the dog to Wales. Just something that I would like to have on the page and of comfort. But what we need to do first of all is separate the photos. Now, being the amateur and idiot I am, I've basically got the same photo, 4 different sizes. So we'll have to see what we actually want to use. So we've got here a nice photo that is on the channel of the Hobbyist jigsaw puzzle. And then we have the neurodivergent and I'm autistic now what badges. Just a nice memory that I have. We've got here an assortment of characters who are present in the backdrop of my studio. We've got the Weeping Angel, we've got Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy's, and just a dice and a, Oktoberfest owl, because apparently that's a thing. Now, although my partner did help me with the cutting out of these photos, it was all done manually by hand. Those who might know me, I have really bad hand coordination. My hands are very frail and they kind of flutter a lot. It's probably why I have so much restless hand movement in my videos, etc., because I don't know what to do with them, so they always have to be active. Unfortunately, as you might be able to tell, these are not very well cut people. They're rather, well, they're not great, okay? But like I said, this is amateur content. I'm not a crafts and arts person, but I'm here to enjoy and enthrall myself in the hobby. So for the first page, I'm focusing on the journey so far, a bit of content that we've created, some photos we've taken as we launched this channel with the hopes of creating a community that can help each other build upon our hobbies. You know what that means to me? Put them on the page. Now, I've got an assortment here of photos, and what I'm going to do is choose various sizes of the photos and see, if we can come up with some kind of layout. So I want an even distribution of sizes, and what overly I'm looking for is various types we can use. Now, as you can see, we've got some duplicates and whatnot. That's just in case if things went awry, etc. And some of them have white spaces on them so we can do some doodling and writing and what it means to us. Now, just remember, it's only an A4 size piece of paper, so there is limited room here. So you can see very quickly, there isn't actually that much room to distribute them on. So once I've got them into place, I'm going to glue them on in the position, and then we're going to do some artistic design around them. Let's have a go. So we utilize the cardboard just in case we get any glue anywhere, just so we're not putting it onto our sheet. Now, I went with glitter pens because one, why not? Have fun with it. Personalize it, do as you please. It's always wise when using new stationery to practice with it, just to see what it looks like and if it will actually appear quite well on a coloured card. And we are going to be using our favourite colours for this channel, which are orange, purple, and we've got a bit of a black and silver going as well. So with the middle photo, I'm going to put that this is the family or the crew, as it were, to put a little joke. And at the beginning of our journey, we've got the fan base here, always behind us, and the fact that unmasking autism has been such a pivotal knowledge base for me and coming to terms with my autism. Now, although we don't have much room left, I want to add a bit of personalization in the form of stickers. Now, the stickers I have came with the accessory pack, therefore they don't really have much in common with what we're doing, but that has almost a sense of kinship because I do like a little bit of chaos when it comes to these things. So I have my trusty label maker, and I think it'd be fitting for the first page to have the word community, a representation of what I'm trying to build. I will admit it showed up better on my practice run. Now I have no idea how to use this washi tape, but apparently it is very popular in its use. Now, I think it's very evident by now, I have no idea at all what I'm doing. But it's rather fun. And I think as well, it stores memories and it means something to me. So for the second page, we're going to focus on our journey to North Wales. This was a momentous occasion. It was a family holiday away with my partner and the dog, in which we travelled around North Wales, visiting, relaxing, and just enjoying the beautiful country that is Wales. Now, I couldn't think of anything better to chaotically organize into a momentous scrapbooking page than this journey. But first of all, let's get these photos into order and see what we can make out of it. Now, I got these alphabet stamps from The Works, an absolutely amazing shop within the UK. You can get all little crafts and books and stuff from there, and I think it adds a bit more of a personal touch. And besides, I just wanted to use them, they're actually quite cool. Placed all your photos, then you can start to customize it, personalize it, make it your own creation to tell the story. Now, prior to doing this, I had a plan. I did an electronic storyboard and covered tons of ideas and designs. But now I'm here. I think I feel more of a kinship when I'm simply looking at the page and going with the flow, just kind of making my own design on it, because what I do on the computer, you're not always going to be able to generate onto the page. But what you can do is have fun while doing it. Ah, note to self, let the ink dry before you start again.
A few moments later.
An amateur mistake, obviously not waiting for the ink to dry. I think we'll take a break and then come back and personalize it some more.
One eternity later.
I think the silver is going to be much better for the stencils. Let's give it a go. As always, random stickers always bring something to life, even if it's not relevant. I really have no idea what this tape is for, but I kind of like it. And why a snail, you may ask? Why not? And although it looks like this has been done by a child or somebody who has just opened a bag of stickers and had at it, I feel a kinship with it. It's my design, my memories, my mementos. And as you can see, although it is full of disasters, smudges, incorrect placements, and gluish mistakes with branded ink everywhere, I think it wouldn't be me without it, without those imperfections and mistakes, because that truly is what it makes it mine. Really proud of this. If you're new here, in this section of each episode, we pick up 3 topics from our other videos series and apply the subject matters, tips and tricks to this hobby, showing that the information in those episodes can be applied to any hobby, and therefore helping as many people as possible. So this month's episode's discussion are as follows, as chosen by the random generator gods. Self-improvement and development via a hobby. turning a passion, interest, or fantasy into a hobby, balancing a work life and a hobby as well as everything else. Oof, that one hits a bit too close to home. Okay, let's have a look. The key to self improvement and development is learning from every moment of your life, knowing what was gained from it, and being able to apply that knowledge to at least one or many aspects of your life. Because that way you're ensuring that it's being used or even being paid forward to help others. I believe this can be done within any hobby. Each hobby has something to learn from, and those, like previously noted, can develop other aspects of your life, be it from a positive or even negative experience. We can see there is a lot of research and gathering and presentation of information in the scrapbooking hobby. But what about developing these skills so we could apply it that to our work life? Developing our presentation and research skills, but it could also help, organize and present aspects of our lives. What about our household? Making them more presentable, identifiable, and manageable. You would be surprised at how much our hobbies provide us without even knowing it. Sometimes we take for granted the small things, but over time they shape us and what we do for the better. Now, this is such an interesting topic, and I can't wait for the more in depth video we do on it. But for now, this fits ideally for scrapbooking because no matter what your passion, interest, or even your fantasies are, they can be placed into a scrapbook. It can be used as a tool to gather researched information or interest within a given topic, allowing you to picture it even more, in a visual aspect, or it can lead to developing into other areas that don't simply just stay within the book. The scrapbook offers the freedom to house and give a home to all your ideas you want to explore. It can also simply be a means of seeing if there's something more to venture into, or is it simply a way of expressing yourself within the pages and ensuring that your passions and interests and fantasies have a place to call their own, besides the dark recesses of our minds. Scrapbooking to me felt like an ever developing journey. I may have had a concept for a page, but I was constantly deciding what memories I wanted to have on that page, or how to even explore or present them. The greatest thing about this hobby was I didn't have to designate a time to do so. Majority of the thought process can be done in those spur moments, or just when inspiration strikes. As such, it didn't take up as much time or effort as I thought it would. When I had those moments, I made a note and it could be looked upon in more detail when it suited me. When it came time to design and create the scrapbook pages, it felt good having all this prep work done. I had the design aids, the photos, everything I wanted to mention with an array of ideas, concepts, and layouts to guide me through the process. This not, might not be everybody's approach, but it meant I could use my time wisely. When I was ready to have a go on my own time, it was used efficiently. And I worked around my schedule because I already planned so much of it, it gave me a sense of freedom to do so and enjoy the hobby. Let's take a look at this month's journey into the hobby that is scrapbooking, as I give my thoughts on the creative and artistic hobby. While doing so, you might be contemplating your own thoughts. I can't wait to hear about them. Although, if it's about my horrid scrapbooking and editing, please be gentle with me. I have a very specific set of skills, which means I tend to fail miserably at everything else. But also, always, this series allows me to get out of my comfort zone and give it a go. Sometimes it leads me to wrapping up a yo yo string thousands of times or changing the approach to a hobby halfway into it. But it's all about taking part, knowing oneself, and using the knowledge we learn, together to engage in our hobbies and enjoy them. I always like it when taking up a creative hobby because it's likely not something I would ever dream of taking up outside this series. But this one rather captivated me, not in the pursuit of perfection, but in self expression. There wasn't ever an end goal. The idea was to simply express yourself onto the pages, and whatever the outcome, it serves its purpose. It's not art to be admired by others, the encapsulation of memories to look upon in fondness. That is the goal. I will say this, though there was a part of me, as always, that tried to be a perfectionist, try more than I could handle after I felt things looked a tad basic. But then comes the realization, who am I improving this for? When you realize it's simply for me, then it can be whatever I need it to be to serve its purpose. Now, I've got fond memories to look back upon and a future concept I can share with other people in the future series on this channel. Scrapbooking cost to entry is very affordable because you can make it as simple or as complicated as you want. The cost of the hobby can wrap up though with accessories, utensils, equipment you know that you use to create the designs and the artwork for your scrapbook. As always, know your budget. If there's only one way to enjoy the hobby is outside your budget, you might want to check out our hobby financing videos. Boom, self-promotion done. Yeah. Scrapbooking might be the greatest accompaniment in one's life. It's an exceedingly good longevity because of it. A scrapbook can contain the documentation of your life. If you're living, there's always something new to place in the book. The designs may change, but the storing of memories will always be there for you. Due to the nature of the hobby being exactly what you want it to be, there's no objective or achievements to head for. It can be very accommodating and adaptable to a variety of needs, disabilities, and open to so many with or without support. Due to this not being a very competitive hobby, it could be something you can take up with others. Just remember the concept of your scrapbook may not always resonate with others, or just share memories with them. Due to the flexibility of this hobby, there's a lot we can do to adapt to suit our needs. It can be a lifelong journey of enjoyment and learning. It's also one of the few hobbies that can be a safety net for those who have interests not so easy to, change into hobbies, but also a creative outlet and starting point for other adventures. Due to its lack of competitiveness and goal orientated nature, it can be done at any time, any pace that suits your needs. It feels good to engage in my creative side. It feels like I'm engaging with an undeveloped part of my brain. So any small achievement feels rather rewarding. Due to my health, mental, and memory problems, this can be such a relaxing hobby and activity to engage in, something just to relax, with not rushing to get it done, move on to the next big thing. It can be, moments enjoying crafts or artistry, etc. This will also be a good tool to look back at those fond memories. We can do this electronically, but there's something different and special about holding the memory physically in your hand and flicking through the pages and reminiscing. I think my biggest takeaway here that it's good to relax, look back at our memories, and spend some casual leisure time crafting, doodling, which is a surprising notion as a non-creative person such as myself. But I felt so relaxed in the moment with this hobby. It's also something I can look back on when needed at my own time and place. I've certainly got a lot of supplies left over from this hobby. As such, now that this month's hobby is coming to a close, I'm not going to let this one go. We will be filling a page or two documenting this journey and life experiences. Plus, it's another means of practicing my editing and getting confident in front of the camera. So I hope you will join me for those in the future, but maybe I'll separate the ramblings of behind the scenes of the photos and the choices we make along the way. Otherwise, we could be here for hours. That's another hobby explored, another monstrosity of a long video to edit and publish. Now I can move on to the next project and hobby. I've started my research and delving into the hobby of bird watching. This is going to be an interesting one, and I can't wait for the adventure. I've been Ryan, the neurodivergent hobbyist. You've been a part of this community, and happy hobbying. Huh. I'm going to need to, remind myself to make notes, photos for the future scrapbook pages. I'm sure there's an app for that, or, maybe you've got some suggestions for me. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.